Okay, welcome back to the world famous EastWest Studios, where all the hits were made. And look, I'm really lucky to have a couple of guys here that I haven't known for very long. In fact, I think Devon we met in a parking lot
Yep. Center
when there was
stage.
lots and lots of women and young girls standing outside because I think Mr. Bieber was about to turn up.
Yeah.
And Eric, I know mainly through social media. But to be honest, I've been following you, as in our connection. Our talking has been through, but I've been following you for quite a few years. Wow. So listen, I'm really honoured to have Devon Sticks Taylor. And we must find out about that later. And Eric Harland. So thanks, guys, for joining me.
Oh yeah, thank you for having us.
I'm looking forward to this. So I wanna ask both of you a question about early influences and how you got into drums. So Eric, maybe you'd like to share with us.
Oh man, well actually, I started as a piano player. My mom was a piano player. She sang in the church, and as a kid, I was like, wow, that looks like fun. I kind of want to do that. And she decided to give me piano lessons. And when I started playing the piano, she was always such a disciplinarian. She was like, you're not playing your scales. You're playing that wrong, and everything is kind of, you're not concentrating. And it was a thing that became so, I hate to use the word frustrating, but it didn't allow me to have the freedom that I wanted to just express myself on the instrument. And so I just gave up. I just stopped. And what I started doing was just playing the pots and pans when she would cook in the kitchen or whatever.
How old was you?
I was like 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Wow.
And so then, it was my grandmother that was like, oh, he looks like he wants to play the drums. And my mom's like, no, he's playing the piano. And so then my uncle, who was my mom's brother, was the one that introduced me to the great Craig Green, who's taught everybody from me, Chris Dave, Jamiah Williams, Kendrick Scott. I mean, just go down the list of Houston drummers. And so, so I happen to name him first as one of my influences because I call him like the Buddha of drums. Like, he would encourage rudiments, but the main thing, he would allow you to play. And as you were playing, his whole thing, like, because, I was like 5, 6 years old when I first started taking lessons. And so everything was up here. I'm like, yes, I'm gonna fan myself and play at the same time. But he would come and take a stick and he would just go like this. And he would just keep the same intensity, just don't hit the stick. And you'd be like, yo, and after a while, everything was like down here. And I was like, what? So he's amazing like that. Outside of that, I mean, I feel like I'm influenced by everybody. But I really feel like I got my start with like Elvin Jones and Tony Williams, Roy Haynes, the legends, the guys who have pioneered and paved the way for the drum.
Yeah. Well, Devon, what about yourself?
For me, my dad is a musician. Yes, he had a vocal group, and I used to tour with them when I was a young kid. But before that, he used to be in the nightclubs and doing shows and stuff, R&B shows with his group and things like that. And when my mom was pregnant, she said that they would be in the club and whatever song they were singing, that my shirt would be kicking, to the beat of whatever was on. So, and she said even when they was at home, if it was some music or anything playing, then I would be kicking to the beat. And she would tell my dad, like, man, look at this boy, he's gonna play the drums. So when I came out,
That was
it pretty much from
drum kit in the cradle.
Yeah.
Wow.
From the beginning, I started like you, playing on pots and pans, taking them out of my mom's cabinets and with spoons and things like that, using straws and playing them in the back seat on anything, And my granddad, he bought me my first drum kit when I was like 1 year old, man. And man, ever since then, I just been in love. I took it and ran with it. I want to say, around like 8 or 9 years old, I asked my dad. He had a drummer, and his drummer was a big influence to me because I grew up pretty much watching him. 2 guys, Omar Phillips and Scott Williams. Those guys, I grew up just every day.
Where was this?
This was in Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah, that's where I'm from originally, born and raised. So this was in Atlanta. And my dad, I asked him one day, I was like, hey, man, I want to play for you, man. When you gonna let me play? And he was just like, nah, man, you're not ready yet. Like, I'm like, oh, as a little kid, crushed. But I used to beg him all the time, like, to let me play. And with his gospel group, they were doing original songs and covers. So one cover that they was doing was John P. Key's "Rain on Us." This is when it first came out. So I was like 8. Yeah, so during the concerts, that would be like my only song that he would let me play. So I started off playing with that. Like my uncle Kim Richardson, he was the music director and the keyboardist. They would have me playing with like click. My dad would always just be like, man, do not move, just keep it in the pocket. Don't do nothing else. Just stay with the metronome, just keep it in the pocket. And you know, of course I would practice and do other things that I saw other drummers do on my own later on, but you know, they pretty much made me, you know, stay and practice with a metronome and things like that. And years down the line, my dad, he's a pastor now. So I started playing drums at his church. We only had a like a 1-story house. So I wasn't able to like practice every day, like from maybe like 4th grade to like 9th or 10th grade. So the only time I practiced was at church. So once my dad became a pastor, I was playing at church every Sunday, man. So that's kind of like my start. But
So at what stage, guys, and I'll start with you, Devon, did you decide, this is it, this is the job? Because you didn't just leave school and suddenly you get the gig. So at what stage do you decide?
So my parents, they bought me 2 DVDs in like 2004, 2005. And the 2 DVDs was Destiny's Child live in Atlanta, Fulfilled and Loving It tour with Gerald Hayward playing drums. And then the second one was the Usher, the Truth tour. That was in 2005. That was with Aaron playing.
Wow.
So I grew up just, you know, listening to a lot of gospel music. You know, Liddell Abrams, Calvin Rogers, people like that. You know, growing up listening to like church and gospel records and things like that. So when I heard Usher and when I heard Destiny's Child, it blew my mind because I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I've never heard a live band on like, you know, the songs that I hear on the radio, like secular songs. Yeah. And the way they were playing it was just amazing and crazy. So like watching those DVDs and seeing like the stage and hearing the band playing and things like that, that's what made me like, yo, I really want to do this. Like, man, I need to, you know, figure out a way to like really make this my career. So I took that, I ran with it. You know, YouTube, we had the, you know, the age of YouTube.
See, we did.
You know, you know, fortunately,
Yeah, man, look.
You know, growing up, my generation.
Jack, look,
and me, yeah,
you know, my generation, I'm a 90s baby. I was born in 92.
Stop it.
So, you know, my generation, luckily, you know, we have like a little bit more technology. So we had YouTube. 90s. Yeah, 90s, man.
I got a pair of shoes that I had.
Really? What, you got, some Air Max 90s?
Yeah, that's the ones.
Nice.
I graduated high school in 94.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. I was born in 92.
Well, I think I'm older than you, Eric, so don't even start going down that road. What about you? What stage did you think this is what I want to do, or what was your lucky break? Or
man, it just kind of all came together. Kind of similar to his. Like I used to play for the Gospel Melody Hour in Houston when I was like 8 years old. So I played behind like the Williams Brothers and when the Clark sisters would come through. But I'm like this little cat all nervous, and it was like on it was a TV station that came on like late at night. But you know, honestly, I just never thought about it. Like I just wanted to play. Like when I first left Houston, well, I went to Performing Arts High School. That's, you know, what Beyonce went to, Robert Glasper. The same, like we all kind of got our start there. And then I got accepted. Well, when Marcellus came down and he did like a clinic, and you know, my combo was the one that was to play with him. He was like, "Oh man," he said, "I like your sound. You know, you ever thought about going to New York?" And I was like, "Okay, cool."
What kind of age were you?
I was like 16.
Oh wow.
16 at the time.
Yeah.
So it was my senior year. I was 16 years old, and well, he ended up contacting Manhattan School of Music to give them for me to get a full scholarship, and the rest was just from there. Like my combo, I got into the school. My combo teacher was Rodney Jones, who ended up being like at that time he was the music director for the Rosie O'Donnell show.
Right.
And so he gave me my first recording. From that recording, I met Greg Osby, who was the alto player that was playing. Kenny Davis was the bass player that won like the one competition. And then, you know, so I started from playing with Rodney Jones to Greg Osby. Then I started playing with Betty Carter. And then Betty Carter to... Actually, while I was playing with Betty Carter, I started playing with Joe Henderson. I mean, it's just jazz legends. You know, I'm sitting there like,
of course.
like,
You're still a kid.
Yeah, I'm still a kid.
Yeah.
And then I started playing with Terrence Blanchard, then Joshua Redmond, then Dave Harland, then it was just like next to Michael Brecker, stuff just kept moving.
Was it a big move for you as a 16-year-old to move? I mean, that's a big move for you, isn't it? To move into New York, big city, or was it just fine?
You know, it was fine for me, man. Like my family was just a hard, stern family.
Okay.
Like, you know, my uncles and everybody in my family, we used to play open chess.
Oh yeah.
So like you just walk down the hallway. If your chest was
open.
Oh really? I was just saying, hang on a minute. Wait a minute. No, hang on a minute. This must be an English thing here because I have no idea what open chess is.
Man, so open chess is a game.
Okay.
Basically, and you know everybody would set it, or sometimes you wouldn't know. But if the game was set, what would happen is, if you was caught without guarding your chest like this at a certain point, it was free game. Like somebody could just come in. And
Really?
Get you. Oh,
in the
man,
chest, yeah.
Devin's got a smile on his face. Do not try it on me later. Okay?
I'm not.
Hang on a minute. Come on.
Man,
He's warming up over there.
That made you strong. Like so, when I was
definitely.
man, I was like, what? Like this New York? I mean, I got robbed at gunpoint once, and it was like my friend had to calm me down. And he was like, yo, man, it's just a pager and a sweater. But I was like, it's my favorite sweater though. Oh, and I was like,
God.
But you know,
but
you know that's New York, and that's what kind of gives you the.
I guess that sort of brings me down to sort of my next question. I mean,
Sorry, I got a little.
Nah,
you know,
the street came out a little bit.
But it brings me down to my next question because I mean, Devon, you've just been out with you've been working with Justin Bieber for quite a while, and it's you know we all know that comes with a whole host of issues. I mean, how do you maintain some form of normality? And for both of you, you're working musicians.
Right.
You know, when those jobs finish, you've got further to go, so it's a business. I mean,
Oh, yeah,
how do you maintain that on the road?
You know, luckily on the Bieber tour, I had friends, personal friends that was out on the road with me, so it was kind of easy, to, you know, to be normal and not get, you know, so hyped and caught up in like, yo, what we're doing out here, because you can get hyped and you can get caught up fast and like, yo, wow, I'm doing this, we're doing this every day, this is happening, we got fans, or, you know, the artists may have fans, but the fans are trying to reach out to you, so make it, you know, make you feel like you're hyped, and we doing these shows, we doing a bunch of TV stuff, you know, we're killing, I got endorsement, you feel me, like, it kind of, it can overwhelm you, you know, it can kind of make you think different, but, you know, like, I had real brothers, like, out there with me, and I had my uncle out there with me as well. Wow. He was drum teching. He's not my real uncle, but he's like an uncle to me. So it's like, I had real family. So, you know, when anybody stepped out of line, or you feeling yourself, or things like that, it was easy to
you got what's it called? Punch in the chest.
Yeah, open chest.
Yeah, the open chest.
You know, everybody kept it real, like, yo, we knew you before all of this.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, we all grew up together, so there's no reason for you to feel that way. So, that's one way that I stay, you know, maintained and normal and humble, you know, out there on the road. It's kind of hard, you know, I miss my family. I love my mom and my dad. Yeah. You know, man, my brothers, my sisters, my lady, my girlfriend. Like, I miss everybody when I'm gone. So,
well, that's unfortunately is the hardest thing about, you know, you speak to every kind of musician. Right. Hardest thing about being on the road is obviously
right.
You
family.
You know, and because of your age, Devon, and unfortunately for me and me and Eric, and even more so me, when I was out on the road. We didn't even have cell phones.
Oh, wow.
We had to go and find pay phones to phone home. Oh, wow. Now you got FaceTime, you can see them. I mean, do you remember? We couldn't afford to phone home.
A funny story with cell phones, yo. I didn't get my first cell phone until I was in like the 11th and 12th grade. Yo. My mom was not having that. But now, look, the crazy thing, my little brother is 14. Yeah. He has a phone. He had a phone when he was like 12.
Come on, this is a counselling session. You get it out, Devon. Come on, tell us about it.
It's just funny, like, that you brought up, we didn't have cell phones. That's funny. Like, we just see the generation now. Like, I see little kids that's probably younger than 14, 10, 8, 7 with a cell phone. But an iPhone.
But the family on the road thing, I mean, I don't know what it's like for you, Eric, but certainly for me, I probably couldn't even afford, if I had to go and find a payphone, I couldn't even afford to, if I was out of the UK, I couldn't afford to phone home. Oh, wow. But like I said, now you speak to the younger guys and you think, well, you can see everybody every day. Right. You've got that. I mean, you can face would you not agree, Eric? I mean, it's
different though.
Yeah. That's kind of how me and my lady developed, a lot of trust because she knew I was traveling, And we were high school sweethearts, so we kind of started early. And when I would go to Japan, man, and she knew I was over there and I couldn't call back, she'd be like, this fool over there having some business.
It's not on Twitter. What's going on?
I know, right? It's on Twitter. Nothing like,
you had to call me back.
Right. And you got to wait till you go, like you said, we had to get these prepaid calling cards to call from the room. Okay. And you scratch it off and give me
That's right.
Man, you be sitting there.
But this is a foreign language to Devon over there.
So when you were out there, you were just out there, man. It was just no connection, which was kind of nice.
Yeah.
Because it gave you a lot of time to kind of read or be with yourself or just, it gave me a lot of time to reflect and just not get caught up in stuff because, I needed that time to just kind of meditate or whatever, just figure some stuff out because of things I had gone through when I was younger. So it was, it was perfect.
Cool. For me. Yeah. Okay, we're going to take just a little break and then we're going to come back.
So the first time I got in touch with scratch drums was, of course, in my early childhood. My father was listening much or a lot to the Stones, and of course that was a sound that I was totally into. But as a professional musician, I was totally aware of that great scratch sound when tons of great drummers came into our online lesson studios, such as Mark Juliana, Gergo Borlai, or Carl Brazil.
Okay, welcome back.
Right.
Okay, guys, this is always my fun. Look, Devon's just sending a message to his, the family.
Yeah.
Right. I'm here, baby.
I'm still here, don't worry. He's getting his social media together over there. Okay, guys, so I always love this part because it always gives me a bit of an idea of the personalities I'm dealing with. And I can see the look in your eyes when we do this show and tell. Okay, so Eric, your show and tell. What have you got to show us and tell us?
Oh man, well, I guess I'm gonna go with these sneakers.
Okay.
My running shoes. No.
Okay, well, tell us a little bit about this because obviously.
Well, these are not really my running shoes, but I do run in them now.
Yeah.
Because I wait till they get old, and I'm like, all right, you're officially my running shoe now. So.
You got into fitness for? I mean, I know there's more to this.
I got into fitness for a lot of reasons. Well, the main reason is because I was seriously obese. I was close to 400 pounds. Okay. And then 2, just for health reasons, I was like, you know what, I just want to be able to lose the weight, but. I think the biggest reason, so I guess I'll make 3, is just because I was teased a lot.
Yeah, so bullied.
Yeah, I didn't like how that felt, and I knew I could do something about it, and I didn't want to walk around with that sense of anger or that sense of where I couldn't take control of my own life, and it was a serious thing because I was in high school, and it was a great school to be in, but at the same point, because when you're that young, it's just teenagers. It's just they're just being teenagers. Yeah,
they do. I mean, I think though as well. Bullshit. I mean, I don't know what it's like out here, but certainly in the UK, it's quite a big thing now that we're in the arts, and unfortunately, what we do for a job, we are different, whether we like it or not. And I think that it's a lot of kids get. Bullied or teased or whatever you look at it.
Yeah, you get caught up in this kind of circle of, I'm in this cool circle. And so, if the kids that are in the cool circle tend to take their frustrations out on the kids that are not in the cool circle because it's like, you know what, you're not cool. And that was my motivation too, because since I wasn't in the cool circle, I started practicing. And I was like, man, these motherfuckers get it, and you gonna know.
Yeah.
And so I appreciated that.
Yeah, so it mentally made you a lot stronger, I guess.
It totally made me stronger.
Just go hard on the drum.
Yeah.
Dude,
Okay.
Yeah. Man, it was like, oh, okay. Oh, really? I was like that. Okay. You get that little calm down. All right. Just take it out on the drums.
Yeah.
And that's, I would go home.
I'm glad.
Oh man!
For the sake of the drumming industry, I'm glad you were bullied. I'm sorry, but because it all had a reason and it came to the same path.
Oh, yeah.
It had a reason. I would just go home and share it with John Coltrane.
Yeah. Oh wow. There you go then. I wonder how John Coltrane would have fitted in. See, back in the day.
Put that joint on. Yeah. Sitting there. Yeah. Just go in.
Yeah, man.
For hours, man. It was just like.
Yeah.
That come out like. Shh.
Well, that's very cool.
Yeah.
Devon, what have you got? I bet you were never bullied, were you, Devon? Come on, look at you.
I was never bullied?
No, come on.
Nah, I mean, I wasn't bullied. I got into, some riff raff growing up, growing up and things like that.
So what was your show and tell?
But I was never bullied, though. What I have for you, I don't think you're ready for what I have. You ready? You told me I couldn't bring it.
Oh, No, you couldn't have bought that. I'm sorry. I'll tell you what though. You sent us a video.
I seen a video.
We put the video up and you tell us.
Okay,
about
listen.
Your
my
dog.
show and tell is my son, my dog. His name is Paco. He's about 4.5 months old. I just got him. He's a pit bull and bulldog mix. So I love him to death, man.
Yeah.
I just got him and I've only probably been around him maybe about a month,
Yeah.
because I've been gone, man.
Yeah.
So it's like I'll be home for like 3 weeks, and then I have to leave him and come back, and I'm about to get ready to go to Europe in February for like 2 months. So I hate that, I always have to leave him, man. So, but that was my show and tell, my puppy.
Cool.
I wanted to bring him, but we couldn't bring him up here. So.
No, I wouldn't let you.
Next
I do
time.
apologise.
Yeah, it's okay.
Well, I've got a section now called Use Them or Lose Them.
All right.
Okay, and this is drum related.
Okay.
And it's something that you would go, yeah, that's cool, or I would keep them, or I would throw them in the bin. Okay. So what I've got here is I've got a couple of pairs. These are some shades, as you call them out here, or sunglasses, made by a company called Jefferson Eyewear. Now, what's cool about these? They're made from drum shells.
Drum shells.
So I've got a couple of. There's lots of different kinds, different makes.
You might not get these back, right?
Hold on, you got the green one?
Yeah, you can swap
Hey,
them
man,
up.
the green go with me, man.
So they go different shapes and they do
I got the
different.
green too, but
Nah, that's fine. Hey, man, look,
In
the wood,
fact,
the wood grain is cool.
right,
the wood grain
You
is
know
cool
what,
with
Eric?
the yellow.
You've got my signature pair.
wow.
They are my signature pair. There's a few guys now
He's
using
fancy.
them. Eric Hernandez is now using them. Thomas Lang, and what Eric Hernandez has done with Bruno Mars is he's done them the same as his drum kit design. So they're personal.
Can I see let me see myself.
Oh wow! Look at this. Look, the boys are in here. Look at this.
Hey, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I like these actually. Do you have them in a smaller size?
Yeah. Well,
That's dope, though.
Yeah, I think you're
So-
dope, man.
So this whole use them or lose them looks like. Are you in? You like this?
I do.
Hey, man, I like these, man.
Yeah, I could get with that.
And of course, I mean, these are also my glasses are made out of drum shells, and these have got my prescription, so you can have them with your prescription in them.
Oh man.
And they make, like I said, I think these ones are made from DW drum shells. But you can have any drum shell, you know.
I'm just joking.
Yeah, I know you are, but you know
Damn
that's
you.
the point. You know, whatever you want, they make them out of it. So it's just something cool
Put
and a little
this
bit.
down. It's trash. No, I'm just joking. I'm joking, DW.
So a
Feel
simple
free to send us a
answer:
kid though.
use them or lose them.
Tama.
Eric, would you use them?
What?
Would you use those or would you not?
Oh yeah.
You like them?
I like them because they're like lightweight. You know, it's a nice vibe. you know.
Yeah.
Speaking of using them, can I have these? You know what I mean?
Well, you know, there you go. It's on record now. So I'm sure we can make that happen.
Right?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you happy with those pairs?
Yes, I actually.
Well, there you go. Here you go.
Well, thank you.
I hope they didn't want them back because they're yours. There you are.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
There you go.
Yo.
There you go.
I do.
Anyway, okay. So
Yeah. Wow. Thank you.
I want to ask you about a couple of things. In fact, actually, it's quite interesting with this.
Okay.
Because I hear, and this is again a British saying,
Okay.
a little dicky bird
Okay.
told me that, Eric, you really are one of the men for the endorsements. Forget drums,
Oh, man.
cymbals. In fact, tell me where you were yesterday in Geneva and what you were doing.
Yeah. I was. So I'm
You're like this, Devon. Forget the glasses. Listen to this.
I'm fortunate to be endorsed by this great watch company called IWC. And yeah, it's great. So they had me there doing this whole like spotlight show. Man, it was so great, man, because the drums were like on the ceiling. And so they had to let the drums down.
What?
And I had to walk through the audience and go like right on the center stage, right in front of like everybody.
It's just on your own?
Just on my own. And I mean, where I started like that. And then they made it like a battle between me and these tap dancers.
Oh,
okay. So it was like, I would take some and tap dancers,
Can you see any of this on YouTube, or is it recorded, or is it a private?
Everybody did like Instagram stories or whatever. But hopefully. I think everybody just kind of moved away from YouTube. They're like, oh, Instagram. Yeah. But the story on the stays up for like 24 hours. Yeah. Right. So you kind of like, what the hell?
So how did you get involved in, because the watch company, what's the name of the watch company again? Give it a plug.
IWC.
Okay.
International Watch Company.
They're going to send you another one now. So because to be honest, again, it's a serious question now, that our peers and the people that we work with, Justin Bieber, and all these guys, they get all the perks. Right. Okay, and we are just the side man. Right. And you look and they come in and I know guys that are getting cars and all kinds of stuff. Yeah. And I'm always saying, well, why don't drummers get that kind of thing? It's a cool instrument. There's a lot more commercials being used with drummers now. Of course.
I think it's a thought process like, honestly, I never wanted to be a side man. I hated it, man, because it was like, I appreciate it because I learned a lot of different people's music. Mm-hmm. But I remember one day watching Sting play in like Europe somewhere. And I asked myself that day, I said, do I want to play with Sting or do I want to be Sting? And so that's when I changed. I was like, I don't want to play with you. Because I have this thing about if people tell me what to do too many times, like it's just like, it was like a twitch. I'm like, like, don't say it again, because I really just want to play and be free and just express myself. Yeah. And I don't know, I think through that, just a lot of people just started to hear me and my honesty in the things that I like to do. And that's kind of what happened. Like this guy who was the CEO of IWC, he just in a way kind of fell in love with my drumming. And we became really good friends.
Did he play the drums?
He does play the drums.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And that became the connection. But now he's moved from there. And now he's the CEO, part owner at Breitling. And so now, fortunately, I get to...
Now we're talking.
Well, yeah. So that's why I was like,
hang on then.
I got to have this.
What watch are you wearing today?
This is the Breitling nav timer.
See, now, this is when I call... This is give the drummer some.
Man, it's just love. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't say I strategically planned anything. No. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things that... I think if you're just open to things being able to happen in your life, they just happen. Right. They do. They just be like, boom. Yeah. And you be like, oh, okay. Oh, all right. Oh, cool. All right.
Yeah. No, I think it's cool. And like I said, I think drums are such a big part.
Yeah.
But sometimes we do get pushed aside and forgotten. I know that you, as well, you're doing a lot of your solo project and getting involved in that. By the way, I was there in 2013. Devon.
Really?
When in 2013, for people that don't know, Devon Sticks Taylor was in the final of the drum off. Yes, and I was there, and I think I could be correct. Wasn't Aaron one of the judges that year?
I think Aaron was playing that year. I did it twice. I made it twice.
Did you? Right. When did you do the other year? Was it the following year?
Yeah, the first year I think it was around 2011. Yes, and then the second...
Yeah, I would have been there for that.
Yeah, the second year was 2013.
I remember you for 2013, and the reason I remember
think Aaron was a judge for 2013.
Yeah, I think he was. And the reason I remember you was this young guy walked onto the stage, because I don't know if you know this event that we're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot going on, and this one guy came on, and all I saw was this massive big smile sitting down behind the drum kit. I was like, now that stands out. And he hasn't played the drums yet. Yeah. And I don't think you stopped smiling since.
Man.
But going back to what Eric's just said as well, I know that you're looking at your own solo projects, and I know you're doing a little bit of producing and, and again, is that important to you?
Of course. It's definitely important to me. I like touring with artists and things like that because... kind of like him, I love learning other people's music, and I'm a fan of a lot of the artists that we tour with and that we listen to. I'm like really big fans, not just listening to their music because I have to play it. So in that regards, it's definitely fun to tour. But on the other end, it's like you want to tour doing your own music. You want people to sing like the songs or to dance the songs like that you wrote, or you want certain people to feel like a certain type of way to something that you produced, something that you did. And that's the thing that I'm on now. Like I know how I feel when like my favorite song come on the radio. So it's like man, or like something I really enjoy is like I go crazy. So I want people to feel the same way, but about my music. Just give joy or light, to somebody. Because music make the world go around, man. You never know. Like you may be sad and you turn on the song and you just like, all right, cool. I'm gonna just vibe. So I'm more so on that route, and just like Eric. I just like to be free sometimes to just play like what I want to play. And I know like touring and doing like a lot of pop stuff, like I have to play like a lot of my drums with triggers, so I play like a lot of the same record drum sounds on my drum kit. So it's like you're very, very structured. Like you have to play like the same patterns, and like you can't really like stray away or play like ghost notes or anything, because if you have something on the snare or kick, that's gonna trigger off like ka 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 ka. You can't really do nothing like that with that on there. So sometimes it gets frustrating. It's like, man, I wasn't thinking about playing that right there. I was gonna do this, but but yeah, man,
it works though.
Yeah, it works. It definitely works. Like I'm a big fan of like a lot of artists, so I definitely want to tour with like a lot of those artists and just get it out the way. And then, like I said, I want people to be excited and go crazy for something that I produced, something I wrote, or just something that I came up with.
Right.
And I want my legacy and my sound to be around for years and years and generations. So I definitely want to be like how you said, do I want to be playing with this artist, or do I want to be the artist?
Which is a great way to finish this show.
What?
Exactly that. That
It was
good.
deep.
But
was good.
but listen, guys.
We can chop that up.
Seriously, thank you so much for being on this show. It's been a pleasure spending some time with you.
Man, thank you.
And please,
I'm honored.
Keep
doing a legend, man.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Appreciate that.
Thank you. No, don't hit my chest.
No, we ain't gonna do that.
No, we're not gonna do that.
Guys,
You gotta grow up.
thank you very much. Great guests. Look after yourself, and we'll see you on the next show. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Mike Dolbear Web Show. If you want more, please subscribe to my YouTube page, Drum Clips, and you want to see Season 1 and Season 2, just click on the button now.